Hey everyone, welcome to Conversation number 6. Conversation number 6 gets a special introduction from yours truly. I had the professional knowledge to screw up the audio a little bit, a lot of it, so it didn't record through my mic and record it through my computer. So did my best to edit that audio for you, but I did not want to re-record it under any circumstances because I wanted that conversation, like I always say, to be authentic and to be real, since it's never scripted and I didn't want to lose any content at all, right? So I hope you enjoy it. It's with my friend John, and John is the CEO and founder of Greenzone Hero. We talk about his company, we talk about business in general in America, business in America, how amazing America is for providing opportunities for those that are willing to work hard, and that's a lot about what this channel has to offer. So I hope you focus on the content and not so much the crappy audio quality from me, and I promise I'll work on it in the future. And that's just another thing that this is about, is figuring out how to do things along the way. Just get started, figure it out as you do it, or you're never really going to start it, probably, right? So I hope you enjoy it, and see you later. Hey everyone, welcome to Conversation number 6. Today I'll be talking with my friend John. Now, John is the founder and CEO of Greenzone Hero. And what that is, I'll let him get into, like I always say. And John and I met actually in a very interesting way last summer. We did a 31-mile ruck together. Not all the miles were together, but as you can imagine, we had a few miles to kill, a little bit of time to kill together. So we got to talking, and I was really intrigued at what he had to say. I was very interested, to say the least. And here I am, months and months later. And when I started this project, I thought of him, and he's just a perfect person for this channel and everything that I am trying to admit, all the information I'm trying to disseminate. So, John, thank you so much. I know you're very, very busy. Thanks so much for coming in.
I got to tell you, Chris, thanks for thinking of me, man. Yeah, we met each other on hour 9, and I think we were stumbling across the 14th Street Bridge there in D.C.
Yeah.
we were just talking smack and talking about, America and, and why we were doing this, and talking about business and what you were doing, what I was doing. And I got to tell you, that conversation spoke a lot about your character. I know your wife was there, and
she was.
Guys and ladies like you is what we're all about. And I just thank you for having me here, man.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. You're very, like I just said, you're a really interesting guy. You're doing a lot of great things. You have a great mindset, and I love how you attack life, and then how you try to help other people, and that's exactly what your company's doing. And I know that's what you would do regardless if you had a company or not. That's just the kind of guy you are. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm smiling now, and we've talked offline, and the smiles are here, but it hasn't always been smiles. But it's so right. It's a matter of just believing in yourself and getting up every day, making things happen. And I've been so very blessed to have been born in the U.S., but also to meet people like y'all. And I've had so many good people along the way help me through my hardships, my challenges, and it's just good to be alive right now.
No,
really.
It's a great time, and obviously there's always going to be tragedies and bad things that happen in the world, but it's meeting people that care about things like you, like I, and like numerous amount of people out there. And those are the type of people, networking with those type of people are what helps you, or is what helps you get through life. I mean, I know you mentioned my wife. I could not believe, I can believe it, but I was very impressed that she got through the 31 miles with us.
She's hardcore, man. She's good.
So, and I don't know if would I have been able to get through it without her. I don't know. She was by my side. We walked it the entire way together. I know we walked with you a little bit, but I know you get to mile 27, 28 with a backpack on your back, and you don't think you're really going to go any farther, but you look at your wife, or you look at whoever, your best friend you're there with, or just the guy next to you, or the girl next to you,
even if it's a complete stranger, the fact that you're going through something like that really brings you together and helps you push you through. So when you have people that support you in your life, you can really, really get through some hard times.
Absolutely. And, that too, and just the mission, we talked about it earlier, the mission to 31 miles is actually for the 31 heroes. Some of those people you knew.
Yeah.
Extortion 17 that went down in Afghanistan. And, to me, as a business owner who really cares a lot about America, about the veterans and the active military, it's the least I can do to fly in D.C. and walk a mile and read about biography every hour of a lost hero. I mean, and you're right, man. Mile 27, you start wondering, holy crap, am I going to get through this? And then you see people like you and your wife and many others that were out there, and you go, you know what? I think I got this.
Yeah.
And those people, I remember the first year I did it, there was a Navy SEAL, there in Arlington at the end, and, he said, I knew everybody here that's buried here. And he says, and I can assure you, after witnessing you people who spent an entire night in D.C., hiking 31 miles for them, they would do what they did all over again for people like you.
You're 100%
And that, what do you say to that, Chris? What do you say to that?
I don't know if you need to say anything. I don't know. It's a difficult, tender situation for me to talk about, but in that you don't say anything. You keep your head down, you nod or whatever, and just you do it all over again. And I know you and I would do it as much as we could. I mean, 1 year is a lot. Once a year is even a lot. It feels like after that, but it's very, very man. It's so nice being able to hear that from a guy that went through that. And then be able to say that, because like you said, it's the least we can do. I mean, the fact that we're alive and we're living in a country full of opportunity. I know, again, we talked a little bit about this offline, and people have a little bit of negativity, of course. The media spreads a little bit of negativity, but still to this day, there's just so much opportunity out there, and you just really got to go for it. And that's one of the many things why we're having this conversation, why I have all these conversations. It's like, you just don't sit back and just think that you're hopeless and there's nothing you can do. Like, go out there, attack it, find something you enjoy, and really make yourself happy and help others through that whole entire process. So, and that's what that one night is, And these guys, sacrificed their life. They would do it again, and it's for people that are willing to, sacrifice that one night, because it's definitely a sacrifice. It's not easy, and if anybody actually wants to do it, I'd be more than willing. I know you'd be more than willing to talk about it, so you can just email me on the email attached to the YouTube page, and I'm sure they can contact you through Greenzone here, or you can just check out 31 miles, 31 for 31 Brook. That's a great one.
I think it's August 5th this year, because I think that the anniversary date, if you want to make it an anniversary, but the date when it happened, I think falls on a Monday or Tuesday, so they pushed it back so it'd be the weekend. Yeah. But anybody wants more information on that, 31 miles to 31 heroes, it's pretty cool. You leave at the Lincoln Memorial at 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night, and you roll into Arlington 31 miles later, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and you'll
solid 12-hour night.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And especially the part where you take off your shoes, we talked about that.
Yes.
The 1 mile to the lost dog. Yeah. Anyhow, so we take a lot for granted, and we do live in the land of opportunity, and I can assure you, you've traveled the world. I've been outside the country many times, and the rest of the world doesn't live like this. We have so much to be thankful for, and I know that you're Hungarian descent, some of you, and I'm Croatian, which is like Yugoslavia. It's kind of the same neck of the woods, and they came here for something better, and so the legacy that you have and the legacy that I have are those ancestors that came here for something better, and they built this country.
Yeah.
There's a song out there, they built this city on rock and roll. Well, they built this country on sweat and sacrifice.
Yeah,
and I'm so very proud that my grandfather, who spent 37 years in an open foundry in Pittsburgh, worked his tail off. I'm so very thankful for him that as a young man, he journeyed across the Atlantic, came here, raised 7 kids, didn't even speak English, but he busted his rear end for America, and I can never forget that.
No, it's hard too, and like we've talked a little bit. My mother is Hungarian, and she came over here in her late 20s, and I know she tells me the story. Actually, I probably need to get her on here for a conversation, but she told me she applied to hundreds of jobs when she got here. She didn't even have a job lined up. She came to New York City, applied for hundreds of jobs, and had hundreds of interviews, and finally, got a job. And it's actually how she ended up meeting my father. Pretty cool story there. But I digress. It's what makes you. Yeah, she's been very inspirational. I mean, and she did what she loves, and that's it. I love talking to so many different people from so many different backgrounds in these conversations, because everybody brings something else, something different to the table. And she was an artist. She was an artist as a kid. I mean, she went to art high school. She went to art college. And that's what she loved, and she just kept on working on it. And she didn't have a lot of good opportunity. I mean, she grew up, behind the Iron Curtain, east of the Berlin Wall, and she left that, and she came here, and she really did get that opportunity here in this land, and she worked her tail off for that, and she's still drawing to this day, and it's great. So there's a plethora of opportunity.
And I'm glad that this country was able to afford your mom that opportunity to be everything she needs to be or is. And that's why this country is so great, because you're right, Chris, and you said this early on, this is the land of opportunity. And as business owners and people that have these visions, it's up to us to utilize our skill sets to carry on the mission that these earlier settlers, if you want to call them that, did for us. I want to help leave America in a better place, and we're doing the best that we can with our startup company. Actually, it's 2 years now, but we're doing some really cool things, and I'm so honored to be working with the people I'm working with. And there's a backstory to how I ended up here, but I have an interesting story too, just like everybody else.
Yeah, so let's. This is a great segue to. I want to learn a little bit more. I want to tell people what you're doing with Greenzone. So you said it's a startup. You've been doing it for 2 years. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, Greenzone Hero is basically an online community of companies that actually honor freedom. And you go, what does that mean? Do you care about veterans? Do you care about freedom? Do you care about the sacrifices of the military and their families? Because if you do, we want to send you business, and we want to give you the tools that you need to do something better than you already are. And if we can, we're at 600 plus locations in 30 something states. We're into Canada now. We've got some partnerships down in Australia. We're working with Harley Davidson. I mean, it's continuing to grow. I can't even tell you some of the other stuff that's going on, but it's exciting. But people are starting to see what we're trying to accomplish. And in a nutshell, we're a branding, marketing, visionary company that wants to help you improve your business. And it's working. My partner and I had we had a holding page website. We had no company, and I got to tell you, I used that printer here in my office to print around with the collateral to show people what we were doing. And in the first 30 days that we were out there pounding on doors with just a holding page, 37 companies joined us.
Wow.
And we were like, holy cow.
You're on to something there. Yeah.
We're on to something.
Yeah.
And then after about a year, one of my business partners was able to finally chink into Harley Davidson. And we hear they don't do this with everybody. And Harley Davidson strategically partnered with us to support our company. Because, Harley Davidson is all about America. I can't think of a better partner. And we're continuing to grow that. We now have Major League Baseball looking at us. Made some contacts with NASCAR. There's some really big companies that are talking to us at the moment. There's a really well-known radio conglomerate that broadcasts across America that we're in talks with. And really what this grew out of, and we've talked about this, Chris, is I got the general sense and feeling when we first got started talking to dozens of business owners and hundreds now, that they're looking for something. And to quantify it, in my heart of hearts, believe that people want to believe in something again. And so we're an American company. It's co-owned, but I'm an American veteran, U.S. Army guy.
Yeah.
And we want to give it to them. We want to become a leader in business and say it's okay to be American. It's okay to honor freedom. It's okay to help veterans and active military. It's okay. And better yet, because you're doing that, let us give you some strategies to do it better. Let us give you some digital marketing tools. I tell you, I met Alex Quaid. You know Alex Quaid?
I don't believe I do.
She's a CNN courageous journalist that did this movie called Danger Close. And she's been involved in a lot of other stuff, but I met her at a world premiere a year ago. And she did a movie on a special forces operator that was killed in Iraq at a combat operating base called Cobb Corelli. And she promised the family, Gold Star family, the Corellis, that she would get back and honor that operating base. And the movie is about her journey through Iraq in a combat zone back to keep her promise to this family. So what I'm getting at is I met her a year ago, and she embodies America and what America stands for, and to have her support and Strong Eagle Media, to have their support say, listen, we see what y'all are doing. Use these marketing tools. She opened up her whole catalog of documentary film stuff. And when you have things like that happen in Harley Davidson and Mission Barbecue.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Mission Barbecue?
Yeah, I've had their food. Definitely.
Those, I love their brisket, by the way. But to talk to Bill Leahy, the managing director in the state of Florida, one time, and Bill looks at our company and goes, I got to be part of that. So we have all their Florida locations. We're talking to them about the rest of the company. And recently, American built apparel and Nick Carson out in Pocatello, Idaho, a combat wounded Marine Purple Heart recipient who had his own struggles, so a veteran owned, making everything in America. We have a strategic partnership with them now, and I can't wait to get rolling with that.
Yeah.
Scott Kinder, I think Scott was with Fifth Group. I don't know. I don't want him to kick me in the rear, but Scott Kinder, American Special Forces guy, working for an Australian company down in Queensland, Australia, the Institute of Project Management. We have a strategic partnership with them. Now we've got the Brits on board, and Scott Johnson with VeteranOwned.uk. Okay. We're working across the pond to get British companies that care about veterans on board. So, and the list goes on. But I mean,
you guys are moving fast though, because if you said 2 years. I mean, so you guys are obviously, you said 38 states, 36 states already. 33. Well, it's going to be 38 soon. So
yeah, I mean, all 50 we're hoping.
Yeah, and then Australia, UK. I mean, you guys are spreading like wildfire, it seems, because you're really onto something. Obviously, when you initially went out there and you kind of marketed yourself, going door to door, you could tell really quickly that you're onto something. And then I think this is just that on a larger scale, because now you're doing it globally. You guys are really going global now. So that's incredible.
It's been really a lot of fun, Chris. Yeah. And now we've got the podcast going with the Straight Outta Combat Radio and the Heroes Media Group with Adam Berg.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, Kaylin Marie Smith got us on. I mean, the network has really started. I mean, I can list off the primo veterans out there, Dan Dwyer and Otis McGregor and Chris Schaefer and all these special operators and combat veterans. I mean, my new business partner is going to be coming on board, Nina Herman. She's combat veteran female, was in Baghdad. Her stories just will blow you away. Wow. And Kat Kalin with Robert Gowan with the podcast mentors up in North Carolina. I think North Carolina, Tennessee. But I get so excited because I get stoked off of people that are carrying on the mission.
Yeah, of course.
It's one thing to wear the uniform, and you're going to find out soon. And look what you're doing already. You're already starting. But wearing the uniform is one of the bravest things a human being can do, is to raise the right arm and to take the oath to defend the Constitution of the United States. Not a lot of people do that. But guess what? Those that do need to be honored. They need to be remembered. And whether or not you believe or have the same politics or not doesn't matter. That person laid their life on the line so you and I can do cool things like this.
Yeah,
but you're still, so you're not out yet, but you'll be out.
Yeah, a little bit of time.
But thank you very much for staying in and raising your right arm, because I've met some of the classiest men and women ever by being involved with the military, but also being involved with Greenzone Hero. And then the Gold Star families and Jill Stevenson up in Minnesota, you know, oh my God, her son was wounded in combat in Afghanistan. They stabilized him, I think, in Germany, brought him back to the States, and unfortunately, he died while he was in operation, and his heart was transplanted in another human being. And when you hear her story or read the book by Bill Lunn, The Heart of a Ranger, that mother who raised that child is the epitome of duty and honor and country and sacrifice. All the things that guys like you and your wife and me don't take for granted. Those are the kind of people that I want to be with in the bunker. And companies that come on and join our mission, those are the companies that I want to send business to.
Yeah,
because they exemplify American business. And I got to tell you, man, you know, freedom's whatever you want it to be, but what comes at it is responsibility. And I've just been so very blessed to be here. You know, I can't say it enough. You know, but it's fun. Every day is a challenge. I have a prayer circle out back, and I can tell you this: I've spent many nights and mornings out there with tears, wondering, you know, what am I going to do? Where am I going next? My life was rearranged in 2012. It was really rearranged when I was 11, when I was raped on a neighborhood sleepover.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
that was kind of, you know, we're not getting involved in that stuff, but you know what, but I you know, that was a hidden thing that I kept, you know, and, you know, you don't talk about it back in the 70s, but, you know, so I lived with that secret all these years, and it was probably what led to the accident, which was alcohol related. So if you make a mistake, you're going to survive.
Yeah.
Don't let it find you.
So just a quick tangent is like everything you're doing with Greenzone, be able to help veterans, be able to help market their businesses and help them get more business. And then the things that you've unfortunately had an experience in your life, you know, multiple times as a child, just a few years ago. All these things, they're not easy things to talk about, obviously. Now, you being in your position, just somebody watching this, I don't know, I don't want to, you know, assume that anybody's gone through anything, but, you know, a lot of people have, more people, I think, than you think. And for someone to listen to you and be able to talk about it, no matter what it is, if, you know, it's the former of the latter thing you said, you know, hearing somebody else talk about something absolutely traumatic that they've gone through, and then how they, you know, didn't just sulk in it, and they were able to pull through, and they were able to make it to the other side, and they were able to talk about it, and then they're able to help other people get through it. I mean, hearing people like you talking right now is exactly what this channel is about.
Well, thank you for pointing that out. I had to reach out to a crisis center. I was sleep deprived for about 4 years, and I'm not going to say that I was suicidal, but I was in a bad place. You know, where would you be with the lady you were with for 27 years, filed for divorce, and basically you sold your business that was your whole heart and soul. But anyhow, I'm glad you pointed that out. But I will say this, Chris, since I came out, you know, I've had men and women private message me, email me, call me, and say, hey, no, thanks for telling your story. By the way, when I was 9 years old, my grandfather did this. Or I had I don't want to blow anybody's privacy, but, you know, people were in some high positions, and, oh, by the way, you know, when I was 6 years old, my cousin did this.
Yeah, so that's what I was just talking about. Like, it happens to more people than you think, and for, you know, and it's...
1 out of 5 boys before the age of 18, 1 out of 5, so it's pandemic, is sexually assaulted or sexually abused, and it's worse for the girls, 1 out of 3.
Yeah,
and I'm sure the stats change every now and then, but that's a whole different subject. But you're right,
No, it is, but it's also an important subject that I wanted to be able to bring to light. I mean, that's why I said, we were talking offline, you bring so many great things to the table. I don't want to call what you went through great, but the fact that, you blew through it, you got to the other side, and then you're able to give back and help other people get through it. And that's exactly what I'm talking about when you said all these people reached out to you. Maybe somebody hears your story for this, for the first thing you said, or maybe somebody, is going through something with alcohol or drug abuse or whatever it is. But the fact to hear somebody else go through it, So if you're helping some business, then, somebody's like, maybe maybe Greenzone's perfect for me. Or, maybe I should reach out to John because, he went through this too. Or maybe whatever it is. But to hear somebody's story, there's nothing like it, because when you have all these things going on in your personal life that you've experienced, and your mind starts going to some crazy places, and you don't think that anyone's ever going to want to hear your story, and you feel like you got to keep it all in. So I wanted you on here. I wanted you to talk about this, no matter if it's the easy stuff to talk about or it's the hard stuff or the uncomfortable stuff to talk about. But I know you well enough now to know that you're definitely going to talk about it, and you're definitely going to talk about it because you want to help other people get through it.
Absolutely. The very first thing, thank you for pointing that out, Chris, is first of all, it's not weak to ask for help.
Yeah, of course.
And if you're, think about it, you're in a foxhole and you're out of ammo. You need to ask for help. I need, reload me or something. But you're not weak. And I had one of the best counselors ever, 47 weeks of cognitive behavioral therapy. It helped me rewire some negative thinking. We talked about negativity at the start of the show, and there's a reason people are negative, because it's a feeling they have inside. And so week after week after week after week after week after, I had to face some pretty, I had to take stock of who I was, and it wasn't easy to look at the guy in the mirror and say, holy crap, I love that guy, but because I really didn't. And then, because of the natural or the status quo method of healing people, sometimes in trauma that are sleep deprived, is with pills. And the pills didn't work for me.
I'm not an advocate of that, not at all.
Yeah. So what I ended up doing, I was lucky enough to find here in the state of Florida a doctor that worked with experimental hemp-based hemp compounds. And I got to tell you, Chris, they fill out this 10-page questionnaire when you go in to see a neurologist. And they've been doing this for a long time, and they could tell the agitation, the mood swings.
Yeah.
Not in a good place. I've been like that for 4 years. No wonder my wife filed for divorce. So he says, I'm going to do something with you. Now, this guy could prescribe compounds of hemp. And it's not what people think. So I took an experimental hemp-based drug. It was like a salve at the base of my neck. And within 10 minutes, I felt flipping normal. I was calmer. I wasn't hallucinogenic.
You said you were hallucinogenic, like that was your normal?
No, I was not hallucinogenic.
Oh.
I felt normal. What I've come to find out with cannabidiol, CBDs, you've heard of them, is that your brain produces these molecules anyway. When you're happy, when you're jovial, when you're calm, when you're serene, a lot of the same chemicals that are in your brain is what's found in THC, which is kind of interesting. It's a plant. It's a plant. They can synthesize it, but what did it help me do? Because if you looked at my brain scan, you would go, what are these white spots on the front lobe? Oh, what are these white spots back here? Well, I was in an automobile accident, and I slammed here, and I went back here, and my brain was injured. Concussive. Some people get concussive, but so you can't ever repair white spots on your brain. You can't replace them. But what the brain can do, there's like 86 billion neurons. It can calm down enough at the brainstem level to build neurons around the damaged part. And what I was able to do was slow the brain down enough with cannabidiols to help heal the brain. Well, amazingly, we've got companies in our network like Charlotte's Web, Ojai Energetics, Koi CBDs. We've got people that are in that industry who sincerely want to help people that have been physically traumatized.
Yeah, there's definitely help in that. And I think people are too quick, at least from my opinion, from what I'm seeing, people are too quick to, hear the word cannabinoid or whatever, they hear associated with it, and they think a little bit more negative of it, or, there's no way that helps. But I've heard, you're definitely not the first person. There's way too many people I've heard, you want to call them, quote unquote, success stories, or, them healing something. And you're exactly right. I mean, people need to look into that stuff. It's pretty serious how much it can help.
Absolutely. And like even we've talked a bit about the Straight Outta Combat podcast. And I talk to men and women that have been through combat and been traumatized, man. They've seen things that most human beings should not see. And then you hear their stories of recovery in those dark places. And a lot of them have been healed with CBDs. And it's all good. There's an SF buddy of mine who did 5 or 6 rotations. Was in Afghanistan, I think more than Iraq, but he may have been in the invasion of Iraq. But he came back, and here's a grown man that served his country that doesn't even want to go outside sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's no way to live your life. But you know what? He started his own company called Combat CBDs, and he started to put his life back together. We were able to help with a bunch of other veterans to get him a service call from a contact of ours in Canada, Alpha K9. And they're awesome people. And our friend up in Bradenton, Florida, Levon Bauer, who survived cancer, who works with Ozzy, the Wonder Dog. All these people are great. So I guess what my point is don't be quick to judge alternative, and even the word alternative treatments, because they work. There's proven science behind it.
And it's so funny because you started off with those pills, and I think there's always the joke, like in the military, like the doctor just pats you on the back, tells you to get out and gives you some ibuprofen. But I think a lot of times doctors are way too quick to just give you whatever pill it is. If it's a physical disorder, you have something going on with your body, or if it's a mental disorder, they just like take these pills. And I personally am very, very against that. I think there's a lot of other means to be able to correct those situations. And I hate that a lot of people push that way. So when you hear that doctors are so quick to push the pills down your throat, but a lot of people are skeptical for these natural things, honestly, that's just ludicrous to me. So.
Yeah, and this is not an attack on big pharma by any sense of the imagination. Some people take that stand, but the reality is they just don't know.
Yeah.
So it's up to guys like you and me and others that have used CBDs to help educate. Boone Cutler, oh my gosh. Crazy cool veteran guy out in Las Vegas, might be Reno, somewhere in Nevada. But Boone Cutler is on the cutting edge of educating people about CBDs and medical marijuana. And the list of alternative modalities goes on. You look at aromatherapy, and I know we're not here to talk about the holistic things in life, but aromatherapy's been around 7,000 years. Seriously. Why do you think some hospitals now are starting to use fragrances that change brain patterns and thought patterns? And yoga and brain neurofeedback. Right here, the Brain Center here in Sarasota, Florida, Greg Sladusky, the guy helped me so much with neurofeedback and was able to get brainwave patterns back into alignment. So the list goes on. Poetry and creative writing.
Yeah.
I've got an electric guitar. I've got an American-made Stratocaster in here, and I've got a really nice Taylor acoustic guitar music, and things that you can actually do to live a more balanced life.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, there's so many ways to approach things like that, and being able to do that. If you do it artistically, if you're going to, play music, you play your guitar, or you're going to write poems or whatever you're going to do. There's so many ways to approach that. The aromatherapy. I mean, I'm a huge advocate. I would say, there's a lot of things that just, working out, keeping a healthy lifestyle, eating a healthy diet. Yeah. Nutrition's huge, right? And I think people don't take that, or they take it for granted. That can't help that much. So I think if you do a lot of things you've done and you combine a lot of these things, then you're able to attack it from a lot of different directions.
Yeah, we talked about that, Chris, and I'm glad you pointed that out because, don't just run out and get a self-help book or a nutrition book. They're great, and don't think that when you read the whole thing that you got to stick to everything.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I've learned on my journey, take out of those what works for you. It doesn't.
You're exactly right, and I hope. So I don't know.
Have you read The Brain Warrior?
No, I haven't.
You talk about nutrition.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not going to give it away. You got to get it. You get The Brain Warrior.
All right.
Brain Warrior is phenomenal, and it all has to do with nutrition.
Interesting. And I'll check it out.
You would love it.
You were saying not everything's going to work for you. I mean, and that goes for whatever have you. That goes for the treatments for anything you've done, whether it be physical or mental. It's going to be a lot different depending, how that person reacts to that treatment. For working out, for your diet, I can do a diet that's going to help me lose weight or whatever my goal is, and it might not work for you, or something that helps you get through something tough in life mentally. Probably not going to work for me, and I think people really need to come to realize. And with social media today, you can see billions of people, and you're like, wow, people are doing this, people are doing that, and so everybody's trying to do what worked for them, And I think they need to, like you said, I think you specifically said, you got to pull a little bit from here, a little bit from there, and you got to make, combine it all and make it your own, and then figure out what works for you. Because definitely, it's not going to be exactly what worked for somebody else, more than likely.
More than likely you're correct about that, and this is what I've seen happen because it's happened to me. You get on a program and you mess up, or you get on a program that doesn't necessarily work the way you think it should. So the first thing you do, it's human nature, you're going to beat yourself up and you go, oh, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Don't let any time you make a mistake or something that you tried didn't work for you, don't let it define you. Keep going. I can tell you some of these books, and we're not here to plug books, but it's important information.
No, of course. No, feel free. I mean, I love reading, and I've already discussed on a conversation before, it took until pretty late in my life to realize that I loved reading, and it was because I couldn't find books, or I didn't know that I enjoyed reading these books. Once I found the books that kind of caught my attention, I was like, man, I love reading. So feel free to suggest them, I'm sure somebody would really enjoy hearing about them.
Well, I like, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. Have you read that?
No.
That's a great book, man. That's all about how to break out.
I started late with my reading, so I have all this catching up to do. So.
No, you're doing good. And you know what? Recently, combat veteran, female, told me about a life-changing event that happened in Baghdad outside the Greenzone. She thought her goose was cooked, man. There was a traffic jam, an event had happened. People were starting to notice that she was an Anglo underneath the burqa.
Yeah.
And she thought her goose was cooked. And she handed me a book and said, thank you for being you. It was called The Science of Getting Rich. Yeah. We talked a little bit about it. Yeah. That's awesome, And then McChrystal's books, The Team of Teams and One Mission, and even reading a book every now and then about actual combat. Scott Houston and those brave Marines in Ramadi, and the list goes on. There's so many really interesting books out there to read, but take out of them what works for you, and then just drive on. And one thing that I can promise you is that if you get up every day and you put your boots on, or your shoes, or your sandals, and your socks, you don't want to get blisters, but if you put those on and you brush your teeth every day, and you go outside and you do something, and you do that every day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, you're going to find something.
You are. It's going to be hard to miss then.
You're going to find something. And even in my own dark time, I've got this Wix site that I've been putting together, and I'm calling it The Authentic Warriors. Under the shelter of each other, we survive. And the first thing I had to come to grips with was that I was in control of nothing, and I was in control of everything.
It's funny how that works out.
You know what I'm saying? And then I reconnected with old friends I hadn't talked to, and I've got my own program, but I reconnected with my dreams, and the list goes on, and here we are in a good spot, but we're not done yet. But I can assure you that if you get up every day, what is the Chinese proverb that was written 3,000 years ago? And the art of war is a good one too.
Yeah, actually, because, I got you on that one. I read that one years ago.
Yeah, great one. Good, man. And that's an awesome foundation. But yeah, get up and just make it happen. It's fall down 7, get up 8, or fall down 10, or get up 11. In my case, it's fall down a couple thousand times.
Yeah.
And get up 2,001 times, because you will make mistakes, and that's okay. Just don't let them define you. One book, though, that really has captured my attention, and there's another one too, called The Science of Getting Rich, written in 1910, but Outwitting the Devil. You ever heard of Napoleon Hill? He did the book Think and Grow Rich, wrote it like in the 30s.
Yep.
Yeah. This manuscript was hidden for over 70 years because of how controversial
Interesting.
They thought it was going to be. It was, I think Karen Lecter is the lady that did the addendums on it, or did the. She's the one that helped me get it out. But it's called Outwitting the Devil, and don't let the title fool you. It's not religious really at all, and it's a conversation with the devil. And Napoleon Hill does a magnificent job of drawing out why people stay stuck. But the key to your success is inside of you. It's inside of every single human being on this planet. You can be whatever, whoever you want if you unlock the key to who you are. And it's a struggle and it's a journey. And if it was easy, the law of attraction does some great things, but just because you think something easy doesn't necessarily make it so, because it's hard to look at that individual you in the mirror.
No, you're exactly right. And it's just like you can read all the self-help books you want, but unless you actually apply something out of those, you're really going to be in the same place to when you started.
And it's tough, man, because we are raised in our families, and then we go to schools, then sometimes we're involved in organized religions. And again, I'm not knocking anybody here. Do the investigation for yourself. If your life's not working, then do something to change it. You mentioned negativity. If you're negative, that's something inside of you. I choose not to be around it these days.
Same.
If I can influence somebody in a positive way, then I'll do it. But what we call reinventing ourselves, we're doing it every day. We're reinventing ourselves every day. I never lived this day before. It's my first time today. Tomorrow's going to be a new day.
You're right. You want to hope at least that, or not hope. You want to be able to strive every day you wake up like you're describing. I know me personally. You just described this exact thing, but I wake up. I literally wake up and I want to do better than I did yesterday. I want to learn something new, and I want to be better. And there's probably people that are joking, like, there's no way you're doing that. Well, you know what? There is a way I'm doing it, and I think anybody can do it. And it's because I don't want to be stuck in this middle ground. I want to be able to break away, and I want to be able to better myself, because I'm far from perfect. Everybody's far from perfect. And the only way I'm going to be able to get better and better as a human being and help other people, obtain that as well, is to be able to wake up like that every day. And there's so many days where I wake up and I don't want to go to work, or I don't want to go to the gym, or whatever you're doing. But you get up regardless, and you push through. It's what you have to do, man. It's what you have to do.
I had a drill sergeant. I couldn't remember this guy, man. He was crazy. And he'd walk around, with the brown hat on, and he'd say, "Man, you gotta live life in 3D. Life is about 3D. It's real." And we're like, what's up with this guy? You're not smiling or anything. And he goes, "Another day, another dollar, another dirty shirt, and then you get up and you get to be real again tomorrow." And these are the things that stick with you.
Yeah.
So you think about all the people throughout your life that have influenced you. In my case, it was some teachers, and my dad influenced me greatly. If you think about who influenced you, and think about what it was they did or said.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It stuck with you.
Yeah.
And
what exactly influenced you? Not just them
Exactly.
in general, but what exactly did it for you?
Exactly. And if anybody
really
ever influenced you negatively, like said something negative about you, I can tell you they're wrong. There's nothing negative about anybody. We're all pretty positive. If you start living like that, and it's tough, sometimes I know when I was 25, I wanted to jack everybody. But when somebody would say something to me, but that's another story, that was another dealing with anger issues because of things that happened. But, we are blessed with so many gifts. Find what your gifts are. You've got them. Every single human being has something to offer humanity. And we so much of this seems so cliche these days, but I get a sense that people are all looking for something. And what is it? We're looking for answers. Why am I here? Oh my gosh, what am I going to do to pay the bills? Who am I going to associate with? How am I going to do this? The answers that you need to all of those questions are right inside here.
I completely agree, 100%.
And the only way you can connect with that person is look at that person square in the eyes and talk to him or her and say, I got this. I have met so many phenomenal human beings throughout my life, as you have, and most people do. You look at Bobby Henline. You know Bobby Henline?
I don't.
His partner and him, Jamie Burton of Bravo 748. Bobby was blown up, I think it was 2006 during the surge in Iraq. He's 2nd Airborne guy, Staff Sergeant type. Good looking guy, just on top of it, on top of his game, serving his country. And 3 buddies were killed like pretty much immediately, and Bobby was burned badly. And that's the most beautiful guy, one of the most beautiful guys that I know. He comes back to the States, goes through some horrific rehab, takes what happened to him, becomes one of the best freaking comedians I've ever heard, travels the country to help veterans and first responders, and, teams up with people to inspire people with the message. And I got to say, it's humor. To make fun of yourself after what you've been through, I mean, that speaks volumes about that man's character. And I just am blessed to work with them. And, in the list of people that I've met, Kat Kalin with Robert Gowan. Kat Kalin is awesome. Cultural support team, Afghanistan, combat veteran, loses one of her best friends in a suicide bomber and attack. And what those ladies were doing in Afghanistan, I had no idea that we had cultural support teams there. Mm-hmm. But to hear that story and where she came from and what she's done since she's been back, and Caitlin Marie Smith, Army officer, public affairs officer, and to hear her story, what she went through, and the list goes on. But even these business owners out here, getting up every day, punching a clock, slogging day in, day out, believing in their American dream, paying their taxes, supporting veterans, supporting military, supporting their police officers, their first responders, their fire department people, doing it every day. Every day. Those people are just as courageous as those people out on the front lines. And we've got to work together. They're out there on the front line. These people are back home living the American dream. They're allowing these people to do this. They're allowing those people to do this. And it's a serious team effort in America.
No, it's definitely a mutual. It has to be. We've
got to pull together. America, what is the melting pot? Your mom came through New York. My grandparents came through the same place. As did many others. A lot of our Asian American immigrants came through California. God bless them. We opened up, they get a bad rap sometimes, but California, they opened their gates a long time ago. There are a lot of hardcore Americans in California. And then you got the Deep South. My wife's a Virginian. My wife's dad fought in World War II. Merrill's Marauders down in Burma. He was in Korea and in Vietnam. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And the stories and the list of people goes on and on and on. But, Scott Husing and gosh, Richard Caruso, Marine, hardcore guy, South Carolinian. He's working in the prison system out in California. He turns the tide on some illegal activities that were going on. They make the movie Felon about him. And what a phenomenal guy. That guy is on the leading edge of helping veterans everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
And Larry Hinkle, oh my gosh, witnessed his first sergeant get killed in combat. They were there during the invasion of Iraq, and to come back and be in that dark place and what he's doing, walking across America for veterans and first responders, and John Preston singing his pipes out, and J.P. Guns, these two Marine guys, and Adam C. Martin, and Nick Sterling, and Ryan Weaver, these warriors singing about what they went through, and America's just, you can tell how excited I get, but America is the greatest experiment in the history of the world. And we got to keep this thing going. We got to work together, businesses, veterans, first responders. Let's not let the status quo media, this is an attack on media or politics, but let's some real stuff
you are right in the fact that, I mean, so obviously bad things are going to continue to happen, and also obviously the media is just going to blow them up, and that's all you're going to think is going on is all these bad things. But there's so many amazing things happening behind the curtains, right? There's companies like yours that pretty much what it sounds like, apart from the literal things you're doing, is what you're doing is you're pulling all these companies and they're all able to network, and you're able to meet all these people, and then all these people that you've met are able to meet all these other people, and it grows, and it just becomes this absolute mesh of a fighting force where people are just trying to help each other out. It's really quite just a beautiful thing to be able to do that.
Well, it is, and we want to create a commerce juggernaut. I spent 5 hours, about maybe a month ago, I was up in Milwaukee, Harley-Davidson National Headquarters. And I spent a couple of hours, but 5 hours total with some top executives for Harley-Davidson. And when I left Milwaukee, I got to tell you, it's the first time I've been to Milwaukee. Great city, a lot of cool stuff going on there. A lot of good German food, but anyhow, so I leave there, and I'm thinking, it was almost a surreal experience to talk to these executives at Harley and feel their passion, not only for their product, but for America. And oh my gosh, 115 years of doing good business. General Blackjack Pershing was chasing Pancho Villa on the back of Harley-Davidson motorcycles 115 years ago.
That's crazy.
They helped us win World War II. Those motorcycles helped us. I mean, I can't think of another company in America that's embedded with the military than Harley-Davidson. And then, interestingly enough, somebody really put my name in as a veteran owner of the company, and I was picked recently by the Pittsburgh Marauders, which is a minor league team for Pirates. So this coming Veterans Day, I'm going to be on a deck with 49 other veterans, or however many.
That's cool.
And, as a veteran owner of a company, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
But my dad was from Pittsburgh, and my publicist for Greenzone Heroes from Pittsburgh. So we've reached out to the Pittsburgh Pirates home office, and they like what they see with our company. And I'm not saying there's anything going to happen, but what a story that would be to have the first Major League Baseball team in America join a network of veteran-friendly businesses.
Yeah, it would be pretty incredible.
My dad, he passed away 10 years ago, but he lived and breathed Pittsburgh Pirates, and it would be a great honor to have them honor our company. But there's so many, and the list, Salem Radio, and there's so many people involved with what we're doing. It's just getting better. It's just getting better.
So is your radio? You mentioned your radio earlier, and then you just said it now, so it reminded me. But your radio station, and you may have said this already, but maybe I missed it. But are you guys talking about stuff you're doing in Greenzone, or is it something completely different?
Well, Greenzone Heroes, the parent company, and then we've got Straight Outta Combat, Angel Brigade Radio, 2 podcasts that we've started. I met Adam Bird in Dallas, and by the way, Cortez Riggs, Army guy who started the Military Influencer Conference. I met most of these people out in Dallas.
Okay.
But he's doing a great job. This year it's in Orlando in September, so if you're a military influencer, if you're a military veteran and you own a company, come down to Orlando in September. I think there's still some tickets left. But anyhow, I met Adam Bird, his company, the Heroes Media Group, is a podcast platform. And he's helped us to get the word out with Straight Outta Combat, which is a podcast and interviews combat veterans and veterans in general. We're trying to diminish the negative stereotype of veterans in general.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned, like, when something crazy happens and it's a veteran involved, they immediately think every veteran is a hair trigger, crazy psycho.
Well, unfortunately, that's how it is with anything, with ethnicities, with people's whatever preference, with people's background. People, unfortunately, a lot of times, they jump to that, and it's unfortunate. But go ahead.
But we're hoping that we can help put a dent in that. But the real thing at the end of the real promised land for us is Task Force Zen. And Task Force Zen is going to be, when we get done with it, it's going to be a global shift in commerce and in healing at a level so phenomenal that we will literally change the paradigm for the human condition. And I can't tell you how stoked I am about that one. And Task Force Zen is we got Greenzone Hero and then the Real podcast, telling real stories like what you're doing here, Chris, and then Task Force Zen. And I'm real excited about that project because we're going to be able to do things at a level that's never been done before in the healing process. But we're going to make so much money and help so many people that there'll be nothing like it. So keep your eyes and ears open for Task Force Zen.
Most definitely. I know I will be. Man.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. But I'm just, again, I just go back to, you hear it all the time now, you go back to gratitude and, mantras. If you've ever heard of mantras, they're again, it's another thing, it's like 8,000 years old. And they work. And it's a way to rewire your thought patterns. And, I do these mantras and, it helps with my therapy as well. And every time you start having a negative feeling, you go to a positive mantra. Like today, my mantra for today is, it's a wonderful day and it's filled with many blessings. And when you start out the day like that, it kind of continues on. Yeah. Or whatever life throws at me today, I got this. Or, I have every tool in my toolbox to fix whatever's broken. And you have these mantras and you start living them every day and you just change the way the brain, because you said it, everything is here.
Yeah.
This is, we might have a device to text people, or we hit a like on, some of these social platforms, but this is not going to figure out the challenges or the dilemmas that humans find themselves in. What's going to figure that out is guys like you and the people I associate with these days, which are some of the coolest people on the planet. It's going to be human interaction that figures it out. It's not going to be this. It's going to be the human brain. And if we can connect and meet the right network at a global level, we can do anything we want.
Yeah, and it's relatively easy to do that now. So to not be able to use all these resources we have at our fingertips, like your cell phone or like YouTube, or we're utilizing Skype for this. It's crazy not to be able to use it. I mean, you're going global right now with Greenzone, and it's just, I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm just saying we have these tools that we better use because it just makes it a lot easier for us than it has been in the past.
Well, there's a book out there, I agree with you totally. There's a book out there called Sense Making, written by a Swedish guy, I can't remember his name right now, but he basically talks, the premise of the book, it's also a very quick read, gives us some great examples and testimony, but basically what he says is the business leaders of the future are the business leaders that can identify the tools and can stick the human element in with it. Because one without the other doesn't work. So you do your YouTube channel, phenomenal idea. We do these podcasts, we do this, and we are setting a standard that will become the way business is done. And if you can't do it like this, we met on the 14th Street Bridge.
Yeah.
If you can't add a human element in anything you do in business, then think about doing something else. Because when you get right down to it, it's about people.
It is about people. You're right.
It's about people. If we can't remember you're probably too young for this, but it was a Charleston Heston movie. It was called Soylent Green. And, of course, the parallel, he said, when they finally figured out it was Soylent Green as people, and I won't give away the plot, but living as people, business as people. Everything is about the people. The Constitution.
I mean, what else are we doing things for? I mean, you do it for yourself, you do it for your family, you do it to help other people, and it's just about people.
It's just about people, but it's also about this. This is one thing that we want to educate on. So you get me going. I had the coffee, a big mug, but it's also about commerce. It's about making money. Somebody made a comment about our company the other day, and she said, well, we do Greenzone Hero. That's what we're doing for veterans. We're part of this. And the comment was, well, they're just in it for the money. I'm thinking, holy, isn't that why we go into business? We do it for the money? You're darn right I'm in it for the money, because the more money we can make building our network, the more people we can help.
It's funny.
And if
the contrast to exactly why I'm doing what I like this. Like, when it comes to YouTube, so far it's been a really hard platform to build up. But no, I don't care about likes. I don't care about views. I don't care about subscribers for what I think the typical person cares about them. The only reason I care about those metrics is so that I was telling you earlier, so I can disseminate that information to more people. It's like a wildfire that catches, or a snowball that gets bigger. So the more people that subscribe, the more people that see it, the more the information gets out there, the more I'm able to share your story, the more I'm able to share the stories of the people that I have talked to and the people that I will inevitably talk to. So to say that it's not about the money is also crazy, because that money, you need it. It's such a naive thought to think that it's not about the money, because you need that money to be able to help other people. It's to me and to you, it's pretty obvious and it's clear. But I think a lot of people, again, like they hear, they hear weed or they hear those cannabinoids, people just are so quick to think that negative thought or that negative connotation to something, or they think, oh, he's just in business for the money. First of all, I say, whoever says that, you don't need them. You don't need those people in your life. You don't need their opinions. You don't need their whatever. You just don't need them. So you just need to do what you're doing right now, and that's exactly what you're going to continue to do.
Well, I got a kick out of that answer, and the lady who's actually Greenzone Hero Business, she said, what a great chance to educate. And, I can assure you that business owner thinks about his bottom line. So if he's listening or ever listens, just what you just said, Chris, it's all about the money. But there's a human element to it. And it's even like when the minute people hear military or veterans, they immediately think nonprofit. And there's have been some nonprofits. The majority of nonprofits do great stuff.
Yeah.
And they need money. And I have no problem with them raising as much money as they need. There have been a few that maybe have not utilized the funds, but they're not all like that.
No,
so I say kudos to nonprofits. Give to whatever nonprofit you can give to. If God or the divine order of the universe has given you that blessing to be able to give, then give. Give that nonprofit that you care about as much as you can. And I'll tell you an interesting story. Marcus Luttrell. Everybody knows Marcus's story. The lone survivor, the Mark Wahlberg movie, Red Wing, everybody went down. You know the story. I finally got through a year and a half ago to Vanessa Force of the Lone Survivor Foundation. And Vanessa and I talked. And she heard what Greenzone Hero was all about. And within like 10 days, we were on their website. Because Vanessa Force was a visionary, along with the people at the Lone Survivor Foundation, to support what we were doing. My point is that so give to the Lone Survivor Foundation. Give as much as you can. Duskins and Stevens. Oh, my heart bleeds for them. And Chad Lawson, who's a special operator now, he might be some for secret, but the Duskins and Stevens Foundation. And the Gold Star Fathers of Florida. And the list of fine nonprofits is huge. Give to them. Give them money. Nonprofits need money. So if you get the book, and I know you will, but if you read that book, The Science of Getting Rich, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Because We're supposed to be rich in so many ways. In fact, if we're not rich, then we're doing something wrong. There's nothing wrong with being rich. It's what you do with it when you get it. I can list off people in my hometown who don't toot their horn, that give. And that's some of it too. And when somebody comes and services your company, they're giving you money for a product or service, they're giving you the opportunity to be successful in business.
No, you hit the nail on the head, man, because I say that with information. The people that I at least try to mentor in my life, I'm not, financially rich by any means, but I try to intellectually share that, as I say, I think about on my YouTube channel, it doesn't really matter. It says something like, as I try to figure these things out myself, as I continue to evolve, and as I wake up and I try to be that better person, as I try to figure it out myself, I want to be able to give that information to other people and help them too. So as I become rich with this knowledge, and as I learn this knowledge, I want to be able to disseminate it as well, and that's all that this is about. And
you're off great. I got you'll probably have, by the end of the year, middle of next year, you'll probably have one of the most listened to YouTube channels in the world. And I have no doubt, after hiking with you on mile 27, that you have what it takes to do that. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, listen, like you said, I'm just attacking it one day at a time, one conversation at a time, and I actually have a little mini project set up for this channel that's going to be something different that I'm excited for, that's coming up soon. So I'm going to attack it from a couple different areas. I'll share with you offline because I'm not revealing that yet. But I'm attacking it one day at a time, and I don't, whether it becomes a bigger YouTube channel or it doesn't. I mean, I hope it does, and I say that only because I want it to grow and I want more people to listen to people like you. But whether it becomes this huge blockbuster or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. Just one day at a time. You have this long-term goal, and you change it as you attack that, and you hack down that long-term goal. And wherever it takes me, it takes me. And but like I say with anything, as long as you are passionate about what you're doing, you're passionate about Greenzone and helping out, right? And many other things, laundry list of items that you are positive about, which we talked about. As long as you're passionate about those things and really care about people and helping out other people, I don't think there's room for failure in the long run. And like you said, you're going to meet failure along the way. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. But you got to learn from that failure, and you got to pick up. You got to get back up that 2,000 first time, like you said, and you got to just move on. And then hopefully, maybe you can teach somebody else, how not to fall down that time.
Yeah, very well said and well spoken. And one thing, I climbed the mountains in the Andes for 15 years, and it was as close as I could come to being in the military as a civilian, and it wasn't easy. But when you stand on the earth and you can actually see the curvature of the earth, it's pretty exciting. But the people on those trips, what I liked about mountaineering was, first of all, it was challenging. Not everybody was doing it. I mean, it was team effort, and you had to weigh all the unknown perils that could happen, with avalanche or rock fall. But the cool thing is that if you went slowly, it's an old Nepalese saying, but if you went slowly, one boot in front of the other, and you were able to stay on task, stay on the mission, work as a team to get there, all those summit shots that we see of all these people smiling with peace signs and thumbs up, it was a struggle to get there.
Yeah.
There are less summits than ridge lines and valleys. So when you get on the summit, take it all in, because you don't know when the next one is coming. But I can assure you, if you walk that ridge line and you believe in that goal, and you do all the necessary things like you're patient and you know teamwork and how to evaluate risk, you will get to some of those summits. And those summits and those 12 years of mountaineering experience helped me to believe in myself at a high level, but it also helped me realize that life is not always a summit. You have more valleys, like I said, but when you get them, grasp them, and realize that with your hard work and your efforts and you reaching out and taking some of these programs that people do, realize that if you believe in your mission and you will see some of those summits. And there's nothing like standing at 6,000 meters. You know, you're freezing your rear end off and you can't breathe and you have a massive headache and you're starving. But, oh my God, you're there with your buddies, your kindred spirits, your brothers and sisters that are wearing down jackets, and they're saying, we did it.
Yeah, there's so many. As you're talking, I'm just like, there's so many metaphors for life there. I mean, like building a great business, for example, is just exactly what you said. There's all these valleys, there are all these ridge lines you have to go through, but then you take that picture at the top of the peak, and a lot of people, that's all they see is that picture, right? It took all that hard work, those days of hard work to get up there.
Heroes, 30 miles, you know, it's nice, you know, high fives in the cemetery, but you didn't see us at 3 o'clock in the morning on mile 15.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh.
It's real tough.
It is tough, and I guess what we're trying to say...
You enjoy it that much more, right? I mean, it's like, I personally, I never want to accept anything from anybody. I want to work for it myself because it's going to be that much more juicier at the end of it, you know? It's, I was going to make a hunting metaphor. You go out there, you know, you could buy your own steak off the shelf, but if you go out there and you go take down that, you know, elk yourself, then that's a little bit more juicier yourself, you know?
It's so true, man. I don't wear a Navy Trident. I don't wear the Navy SEAL Trident, you know, but I've got one in my study that is in memory of Scott Bill's son, Brian Bill, who was killed on extortion. And every time I look at the Navy Trident, you know, the Navy SEAL Trident, I think of, it's a gold little pin. You know, it's very cool looking, it's very prestigious, but when I think of that, I think about the energy and the blood and the sweat and the sacrifices to wear what some people might look at and go, it's just a gold pin and it looks cool.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I got one, and I'm glad that I met Scott Bill, because having that in my study reminds me every day of the sacrifices of others.
Yeah.
So I want to be in that league. I want to be in the human league. I want to live my life with the best of the best. And they're everywhere. The best of the best are out there. And for those that don't believe they're the best, that they can be, they have the power inside them and the ability, especially in the United States of America, to be the best they can be. Those ancestors that came here and died for this country, we left them on the beaches in D-Day, we played coup. All over the world, we've got dead warriors and warriorettes. Let's not forget the ladies that have served. They've given us this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to take it. This is our summit. The United States of America is our summit. Do we always get along? No. Can we figure it out? Come on, we built the Panama Canal. You think we can figure this out? I think we can. So we're in a day and age now that, you know, things seem like we're looking through a dark glass. But you, Chris, and your wife, and me, and my business associates, and some of the people that I've mentioned, we have the clear lenses on. And we, working together as business owners and visionaries and with our skill sets, America, which I firmly believe is still the greatest country in the world, but we can be even better. In this time of turmoil, it's global now. They show us a bad story every 60 seconds.
Yeah, of course.
In this time of turmoil, let's stand tall as American business owners, American veterans, Americans still wearing the uniforms and those that support them, law enforcement, the people that help keep this together. Let's not let their sacrifices and jobs be forgotten, and let's leave America in a better place than we found it. That would be a tribute to your mom as a 20-year-old Hungarian coming across the Atlantic, my granddaddy who worked in a steel mill, and all those other hundreds and hundreds of millions of veterans and ancestors that made this country what it is today. Let's never forget them, man. Let's never forget them.
Exactly.
This is the legacy we can leave behind. So I'm real proud to have a Navy Trident in my office. So for all you Navy SEALs out there and the families that raise those Navy SEALs, and the people that deploy those Navy SEALs to support personnel, God bless America.
Yeah.
You got one American here that appreciates every damn thing that you all ever did for me. So,
that's awesome.
you know, and that's it's just a system. I got 5 or 6 American flags in here. And I'm not paid up with it. I just know where I come from. That's all.
You're exactly right, and I do the same thing. I mean, I got this, you know, my friend Jared, he was on the bird, and this, it literally never comes off my wrist. I shower with it, I sleep with it, I PT with it, I do whatever all day, and not that I would ever forget, you know, being on that. Well, I don't want to get into it, but being there, I'll say. I'll never forget it. However, you know, sometimes you complain about something silly, and I look down and I see it, and you know, it gives you that reminder, and that's all I need to say about that. You know, it helps keep you on track. So.
Absolutely. I won't say what it says, but I wear a little miniature dog tag here. And it was sent to me by a female Army veteran who lived down in Texas. And her name's Katrina. Hey, Katrina. And it says, this is just what I wear. It says, Jesus loves you. Don't F it up. This is, you know, just I'm glad she sent it to me, but, you know, I've given 10 of them out to 10 close friends. And, you know, this is not a plug for religion or any of that. That's just, you know, who I adhere and admire. There's a great book. It's called The Beautiful Outlaw. It's another book. But anyhow, that's, you know, we're blessed with so many cool things. We have this legacy. And it's funny because that's what the Army, the Navy, or somebody would say, don't F it up. But true, let's don't mess this up. Come on, we can do this.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And we're headed in the right direction. We got people like you, and there's plenty of other people. Every single person that I've talked to is contributing in their own way. From, you know, conversation 1 through now 6, everybody has gone through a really difficult time, and everybody's figured out how to, and continuing to figure out how to do it themselves, and then they're trying to help other people get through, no matter what it is. And, you know, I'm going to keep on targeting people to talk to, just like yourself. And there's an abundance of people out there, and I know I'm never going to run out of people to talk to, because there's going to be people that want to be able to do things like you're doing right now.
Thank you for that, Chris, and I appreciate being here today. And, you know, if we can help you do anything or find some of those souls that you need, you know, to tell their stories, there's some phenomenal ones out there. I can just say that I appreciate you. I appreciate your wife. I'm glad that I met you.
Thank you. Yeah, you as well.
Appreciate all the things that you guys did over there. And, you know, I'm glad you're back. And I'm grateful to be here and be able to tell a little bit about my story. And, you know, if I can help anybody, I will any way I can. And, you know, I just appreciate the opportunity, and I'm really grateful that you remembered me, which was kind of cool to get you on LinkedIn. And you're like, "Hey, John, remember me?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I remember you, man. You know, I'm doing this." And I said, "Well, you know, I'd love to be part of that."
Yeah.
So,
no, I try to remember everybody I can. I mean, I have really bad memory, so I don't know. I guess I can thank social media a little bit for helping that out. But obviously, like I started off with this conversation saying, the conversation that you and I had on that bridge, or at least started on the bridge, something that stuck with me, and I remember, you know, everything you had talked about, and then be able to endure something like that together, you know, kind of, it gives you something to share, you know, with somebody. So it's pretty cool, man. I'm exponentially thankful for you taking the time to come on here, because, I mean, you're busy, you got a lot of things going on, and it's just, I'm so appreciative of every single person that has done it, you're doing it, and that will continue to do it. And I hope we, you know, get more people on here that are willing to do the same thing, no matter what it is. You know, you're doing this, you're targeting, you know, these sectors, and it's phenomenal. I love it. You know, I breathe it myself, and I've lived it. And no matter what it is, you know, a stock trader helping other people get their finances together, the t-shirt companies that I've talked to, the gyms that I've talked to, you know, the dog kennel, helping other people out that way. Like, no matter what it is, positive pages that I've talked to, everybody, you know, I want to get chefs on here. I want to get conservationists on here. You name it, like, I'm going to talk about it. And you know
Brian Jacobs? You know Brian Jacobs?
I don't believe I do.
Down here, he did the Best of Chef program, but he's down here working with USF and Sarasota Manatee, and He's a Navy corpsman,
Oh, cool.
and his brother is not with us anymore. I believe he's a suicide victim, and he was also in the military. And to hear Brian Jacobs' story is phenomenal, blow your mind, and the things that he's doing to help veterans through their transition and using their culinary skills.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and there's just so many of them. The list goes on, and even the Gold Star parents out there. Chris Hager, who lost his son. I can't even go to some of the Gold Star stories, but there's Craig Gross with Frankie's Barbecue up in St. Petersburg, and his son, and oh my God, and Wade with Heartstrings for Heroes. The man with Dean Guitars, and they do custom guitars for Purple Heart recipients, and they award them to them it's just phenomenal. And and the list goes on. And,
there's a lot of people out there giving,
JP Lane, Army guy, lost his legs in Afghanistan. He's a hip hop guy. The guy dances like he makes me look silly. And guys like that, and Blake Emmons up in Canada, who runs the Wounded Warriors Retreat, Saskatchewan. The list goes on and on and on. And Ryan Weaver, big old pro rodeo bull rider, singer guy, Black Hawk helicopter pilot, who lost his brother and his brother-in-law. And the list goes on. But thank you for giving me this time, and again, you get me started, man. I love America, and I love the American people, my compatriots, and I just know that you're making a difference. And drive on, brother. Keep going. You're going to make a significant impact. And
I'm really trying to, and I it's my hope that through people like you and through myself, hopefully, that we can inspire other people to do the same, to help be able to find themselves first and foremost, and then be able to pass it on themselves. So thanks so much for your time, man. I really enjoyed talking to you. It was really deep. It hits home in some places. For you to be able to share a lot of things you did, and for me to listen to those and to share a little bit about myself. I can't thank you enough, man. Thanks so much for coming on. This is definitely a memorable conversation.
Yeah, you're certainly welcome. And like I said, drive on, brother. You've got it going on. And I don't know if I'm going to be in D.C. this year because there's something going on with Prince Harry and the Walk for the Wounded.
Yeah. I remember you saying that.
So I might not be there this year, but I definitely will be there next year.
Right on. Well, I'll be there every year, so you just let me know and we'll link up.
I'll let you know, and we'll link up. We'll do the whole thing. We'll do the whole 31 miles next to each other. We'll have fun.
All right, John. Well, thanks so much. I can't say it enough. And I'll link let's see, we'll do a Greenzone. We'll put anything in there, we'll throw books in there, and I'll throw it in the summary in case anybody, obviously can't remember everything we talked about, so I can go back through and pull all those books out. No problem at all. We'll put those in there. We'll put your projects in there. Any other thing you want to share with me, then, you just send it to me, and we'll throw it in there, and people can look at it. And then if anybody has any questions, since we covered a lot of topics, then I'm more than welcome to reach out to me, and I can send them your way if they see if that's who they want to talk to, or if they want to talk to me. My ears are always open, and my inbox is always open, and I'll listen to anybody. So thanks, John.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks, Chris, and say hey to your missus, and God bless America. Thank you.
Will do, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.